We'll call the meeting to order. At this time, we'll ask that everyone please stand and pledge allegiance to the flag of our country. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Approval of the minutes from April 5th meeting.
Motion to approve the minutes from the 5th meeting.
Second.
Have a motion, duly seconded.
Yeah.
Any discussion? Motion carried. In approval of the agenda.
Motion to approve the agenda.
Second.
Have a motion, duly seconded. Any discussion? Motion carried. All right, new, old business, we have none. New business, our legislation outreach. Larry?
Yeah, this was tabled from the last meeting with a suggestion that we reach out to civic groups and such to kind of give them the rundown of what changes might have taken place. Now, something I've done, I've taken Barbara's flyer that you made up. That's going out to two veterans groups, the Pickens Veterans Memorial membership and also the American Legion. So there's about 500 veterans probably that will receive that flyer by email. And that'll also impact their families, which will,
It's going out by email, you said?
Yeah, went out by email to those two organizations. So because it was strictly information on the dates and such, it was nonpartisan,
Oh, yeah.
and it was okay to share it in those venues, so they appreciated that.
Thank you for this.
I went and handed some out at various, like Kroger and Ingles, Walmart wasn't much help, but everybody else was. First thing I said is it's nonpartisan, it's just information. So they've been handing them up, and we sent them out email.
I've put them in doctor's offices
Yeah.
and beauty shops and putting it as a Board of Elections
Yes,
publication is not nonpartisan.
that's right. That's how I introduced myself. I said I'm with the Board of Elections. And so everybody was very nice and happy to put it up.
I think we need to have some discussion about anything further that you guys think we can do that would,
I think it's a good idea.
make a real impact on the general public, the voting public, that they understand what really goes on now. I mean, how this thing is set up now. I think it's important that we do that.
I thought of a couple other ways that we could reach out to people. One was the senior center. That would be good if we went, and discussed it with them and explained to them the new legislation and how it affects them and how to apply for, an absentee ballot, because we did have somebody from the senior center contact us asking us questions. And then also some of the churches have reached out because they've had members ask them. So that might be, something that we could look into in the future about setting up, a day and going, to some of the churches and speaking to their membership about the legislation changes. So adding that to some of the civic organizations as well.
Yeah, good idea.
Who do we think should physically do this? I mean, should we all try to be part of it, or what?
What are you pointing at?
I really think we should have a representative from each party.
Oh,
So it is, continue with the nonpartisan. And
okay.
and if Stacy wants to be a part of it, that would be fine. Rhonda? And I'll be happy to do anything y'all need me to do. I mean, I'm more than happy. But I think we should at least select 2 members from the board to accompany Stacy and to carry out these meetings with the public.
And I think it'll be a good idea, like Mike said in the last meeting, to have a list of commonly asked questions, to go off of, so hopefully, like you said, we don't get down in the weeds with a bunch of legal questions and we just stick to the basic questions.
Keep it at a higher level
Yeah.
so that we're clearing it up for them versus making them foggier.
Right, right. All right, would anybody like to nominate members?
Well, I would volunteer for that, but, since we're right in the midst of early voting, it's probably not going to be good to do it at this point.
Oh, no, I would think
After the election, through the summer,
early
Yeah.
voting, yeah.
We
maybe
can keep
opportunities to
getting
present themselves.
the flyer information out right now.
Yeah.
And then plan to start doing this, before the general election in November.
Because we'll have more folks turn out for the general than we do the
Right.
primary. I know a lot of people I talk to, I don't want to vote for the primary, I'll wait and see who's on the ballot in November.
Yeah, and I think this will be a really good way to reach some people, because I've had several people call or people come in wanting to know information about, the voting location, because, some people haven't voted at the rec center before, so they still come to our office. And, we've told them that we've put ads in the paper, and tried to get the word out, but then, they say, well, we don't read the paper. So this is just another way to hopefully reach people, who don't see it in other places.
And I don't mind volunteering, but for me, it's going to be about timing on when and that kind of thing.
I agree with Larry. We should wait at least till after the primary to even start. So do we need to go ahead and appoint a committee now to at least start sharing ideas with one another and getting kind of prepared for after the election?
Yeah, I think so. We need to come up with that list of questions, that frequently asked questions.
No, I wouldn't be the best person to do the public speaking, but I'll volunteer.
Well, we may want to wait until my
The new
replacement
appointment.
is named.
Yeah.
Because, it would be,
Yeah.
and you can decide between the two of you. Although that person will be new, but it's not just so I've been around forever either.
So do we
We
want
learn
to,
as we go.
do we want to table this till the June meeting?
I think so.
Okay.
All right, we'll table this at this time until the next meeting, where maybe we will have more of an idea and at least have a list of questions that we want to present to the people, or common questions, and any answers, try to answer anything other than that they have. But it's, like you said, the most common questions, I think would help tremendously. Anything else?
No, I think, again, I know we're going to have a set of common questions, but I think whatever group we're going to, we should probably see if they have anything that we may not address, that we
Absolutely.
can go ahead and add to
Prior.
the list and get that answer before we arrive.
Good idea.
Okay, so do we want to vote to table it?
Yeah,
All right,
Motion to table this to next meeting.
seconded.
have a motion, you seconded, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
So, we can table it.
I am Stephanie Ray. I'm not Barbara.
Sorry.
Update on the Pickens Dawson joint resolution.
I've got it drafted. Stacy helped me with some of the points in it, and I reached out to Dawson County Attorney, but I've not heard back from her yet. Just started that dialogue today. But it's basically just, they need you know to have an agreement between the two counties as that Big Canoe residents, regardless of if they're in Pickens or Dawson County, would be listed as having a mailing address of Jasper, since that's where that is what the Department of Driving Services recognizes.
And I've been in contact with Glenda Ferguson, the director for Dawson, and when her attorney sends it to her, she's going to let me know if they want to make any changes or if they're okay with it, and she'll present it to her board and I'll present it to ours.
And I know that we've been down this path before, but is there anything that we can do with the little post office they have there where they, maybe it gets a real address, but it also includes like their PO box on it? Because that's part of the problem too, right? From how USP, I don't know if that's even a contingent we need to look at, but.
Yeah, as far as in the postal system's computer system, our postmaster said that it's probably about three to 5 years out for them to be able to list both addresses. Right now, especially with people moving in and out and changing, the box numbers change a lot. So he said right now they don't have the ability to put both physical and postal address in there. So he said one day they will, but just not right now. He said they're going to have to build a bigger postal station in Big Canoe before they can do that.
Okay.
Thank you. Staff comments.
Okay. We got a really nice card from Miss Eloise Lindsay. She said that she would like to thank us for the donation that we made to the Lions Club in honor of Paul, that it was very much appreciated, and that she would like to thank us. So wanted to let the board know that. Early voting, of course, started Monday. We've had 146 voters today and a total of 295 for the last 2 days. And the first day, we surpassed what we had in all 3 weeks of early voting for the municipal election. We have had 143 absentee ballot applications come in our office so far. All of them have been mailed out except for 5, which will be processed tomorrow. We've received 15 of those back. We're in the process of sending out over 25,000 redistricting cards to all registered voters. We've got about 3 more boxes of those to send out. We had poll worker training. Of course, in April, we had 75 poll workers that attended that training, and we're trying to schedule a makeup date for a couple people who were not able to be at those trainings that we had. And just want to remind you of some important dates coming up. Today through May 20th is advanced in-person voting at the Pickens County Rec Center. It's Monday through Friday from 8 to 5, and Saturdays the 7th and 14th from 9 to 5. May 13th is the deadline to request absentee ballot applications. And then, of course, May 24th is Election Day. We added several extra machines to any precincts that had the available space. And for early voting, we doubled the amount of machines. We normally have 4. We went ahead and upped it to 8 because of the larger ballot, and this is going to be our only trial run before the presidential election. So we wanted to see how it would work and make sure that we had setting up the room worked out, and I think it's working very well.
Have you had them all occupied at one time yet?
Twice that I have seen. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm in the office, and Rhonda is over at advanced voting, and she's going back and forth. So she's the expert on asking questions for over there. Lastly, the only other thing I have to say is I just want to thank my staff, Rhonda and Kay and Kathy with a C and Kathy with a K and Roger. For the last 3 weeks, we've all worked really long hours. There's been days that we haven't got home till after 9 o'clock at night. There's been days where we've worked through lunch and just ate, on the go. There's been earlier mornings than what we're used to. And I just they've all made sure that everything is getting done, and they need to be acknowledged for their hard work and dedication. And I just want to thank each and every one of them for the good job that they've done.
Here.
Yeah.
That's all I have for you tonight.
Have you had any problems with the absentee applications, or people, since they're all new and require all the IDs and everything?
No,
they're getting it?
all of the ones that have been submitted to us have been filled out correctly, so we've not had to reject any of them.
Oh, that's good.
Right. While we were going through training in Athens, that was one of the things I was afraid would happen. We'd run into that a lot, but
And if we get it in early enough and we reject the application, we can send them a letter telling them why we rejected it. And if it's just something as they didn't fill something out correctly or they didn't sign it, then it still gives them time before that May 13th deadline to come in and redo it and get another one in and done correctly.
good.
And then the one thing that we've had a lot of people ask us as far as absentee is the fact that with the 2020 presidential election, the drop box was outside, and then SB 202 changed that. So the drop box is no longer outside, it's located inside. So they have to come in our office during business hours to drop it off, and it is underneath the camera. So I think that that's made a lot of people feel better about dropping off their absentee ballot.
Absolutely. Anything else? Yep, you got anything? Public comments? Any? Josh, you have anything?
I'm just happy to be here. I'm happy to be here.
Board, you have any comment?
I'll make a comment. So I voted today. It was a very smooth process, smooth as ice. I saw the extra machines in there, and it was a quick and easy process, exactly how it ought to be. So, and kudos to everybody. Certainly understand all of the hard work that you guys have been doing, so much appreciation from me, and I'm sure everyone else here on the board. So thank you.
Same here. I've visited twice in the last 2 days, and it, like I told you earlier, Stacy, the flow is so much better. So when the run comes, when the line starts building, it's going to go quicker, and it should move quickly. Kudos to the folks over there. They're guiding people. They're really customer service oriented, answering questions, and Kathy Browning is something else. She handled the situation today with a voter that was really concerned and wanted a paper ballot. She was insistent upon it, and she talked her down and got her through it. She actually went through and voted. And I give Kathy, and I told her, I said, you did exactly the right thing, and got her calmed down. So those are good things. That's good PR. Yeah. So she'll tell somebody about that.
I mean, everything you've done, I've been impressed with. I was really impressed with Poll Watcher. I mean, you made them nice little books, because I was sitting there and thinking, how am I going to remember all this stuff? And you had it all, I mean, that was great, everything. I mean, the whole staff is fantastic, really.
Well, thank you.
It was obvious to me Friday, after spending most of the day over there, that and the way Kathy and Roger were doing things, it was just amazing.
Yeah.
It really was, and I was happy to help in any way. I just carried anything, whatever they needed, and to watch them go and run with it is just amazing to me. And you guys have done a great job.
Thank you.
So far.
Anything further? Well, if not, this time we'll adjourn.